Yo, what's good, guys? What's good, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, we're going to be doing our NFL wildcard playoff predictions. Yes, I'm back. My computer was broken. I'm not sure if this is a new one or not, but had to get it fixed. And yeah, it's the wildcard now. I haven't made a video for like a month, so no NFL predictions, no new mock drafts. Here's a prediction video right here. We're just going to do wildcard only, and you'll see a mock draft video, I believe, either tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, prediction video. We have, it's been a great end to the regular season. We've seen some upsets. We've seen some great finishes to games. The Bills moving up to this 2 seed was huge. They now get to play the Steelers instead of having to play the Dolphins again. That game is also moved to Monday 4:30, just to note. But yeah, this should be a fun playoffs. And I think we'll start it right out with the Browns at the Texans, as you can see in the bottom right. 1:39 p.m. I'm recording this before the game start. And yeah, it's been a great story for both of these teams. For the Browns, just chaotic. They've had injuries on both sides of the ball through the whole season. They've had 4 starting quarterbacks. They thought it was going to be Deshaun Watson who was going to carry them to this point. He got hurt, and it really wasn't him before his injury either. He was not looking good. Thomas Robinson, rookie. He had flashes, but overall wasn't that good. P.J. Walker was not the answer. And Joe Flacco has looked good. And on the Texans side of the ball, no Tank Dell, but the offense has been able to move the ball down the field, get in the end zone. C.J. Stroud, in my opinion, is offensive rookie of the year over Puka Nacua. Very close, but in my opinion, I'll have to give it to C.J. Stroud. Their running back game, while Dameon Pierce hasn't been amazing, Devin Singletary has been able to carry some of that load. Nico Collins is probably the most underrated wide receiver in the league right now. Then they have guys like Noah Brown. Dalton Schultz has looked good to end the season. And defensively, Will Anderson, another candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. 2 good stories. I'm going to go Browns, though. I'm going to say that defense is just way too much. The number 1 or number 2 defense in the league depends on what statistics you're looking at. That defense should just be too much. I don't think Stroud throws an interception, but when it comes to the red zone for the Texans, I'm not sure that the Texans are going to be able to move the ball into the end zone. So I'm going to go Browns here. Should be a close game. I'll have them winning it 23-16. Stroud throws 1 touchdown and they kick 3 field goals. And Joe Flacco and Stroud have a pretty similar game, but I'm going to have the Browns winning this one, 23-16. Next up, we have a Peacock game, which is interesting because I don't have Peacock. So how am I going to watch this? Probably have to find an alternate way. It's Dolphins and the Chiefs, and the Dolphins broke it. They broke the curse that they can't beat a good team. I'm kind of talking about like the last, 4 weeks of football because I haven't recorded a video since then, but they beat the Cowboys. No Tyreek Hill as well, which made it even more impressive. The Dolphins have been pretty steady the whole season. They definitely ended a little rough, though. I believe they ended with a 2-3 record, which also got the Bills up to the 2 seed. But overall, yes, you probably want to end up playing the Chiefs over the Bills. At least in my opinion, the Bills have looked a lot better to end the season. Overall, it's been an okay season for the Dolphins. And when we look at the Chiefs side of things, we know they've had struggles to end their season. The offense hasn't been clicking. The defense, while it's been underrated, the offense wasn't able to make up for it. And usually it's the other way. It's the other way around. If you're a Chief fan, you know that the offense has been performing amazing, and the defense was the other side of the stick where we were uncertain about. I'm gonna say Mahomes does get it done though, and I have him beating the Dolphins in this game. The Chiefs are always able to put it together in the playoffs, and I think we're going to see that tonight. Yes, I understand that it's going to be like negative 20 degrees. Also to note that the Chiefs did end up beating the Dolphins earlier in the season in Germany. Neutral playing site, so not too much to say, or I guess, I'm not going to say not too much to say about that, but again, now we're in cold weather, we're in Arrowhead, should be a lot different. I'm going to have the Chiefs taking this game. I'm going to say they end up taking it 26-17. You know what? Yeah, 26-17. I'll have the Chiefs taking it. Next up, we have the Steelers at the Bills. For the Steelers, they always find a way to make it. Maybe it's not the playoffs, but it is getting to an above 500 record. Mike Tomlin does it again. He works with absolutely nobody on his team and turns them into a playoff team. No TJ Watt. kind of takes away any hope at winning the game, in my opinion. I'm going to go Bills here. Just going to talk about the Bills for a little bit. Also, Najee Harris has looked a lot better for the Steelers during the season. So has George Pickens. But the Bills, they started off very slow. We all know it. Then they picked it up near the end of the season. They boosted their way from being an out-of-playoffs team to a top 2 seed. Very impressive from the Bills. I'm actually kind of curious. How they ended the season with like what record. I know they did have that one. Loss to the Eagles, but that was a game they probably could have ended up winning. Yep, rescheduled Monday, 4:30. But to end the season, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 5-1, 6-1. I'll kind of say right here because this is when they really started turning up against the Jets in that November 19th game. But 6-1 to end the season, that's impressive. I'm gonna go Bills here. I say they win the game, most likely in the snow. So maybe try to say not too of a high scoring game. I'm gonna say the Bills win though, 28-7. They just dismantled the Steelers, who are really not that talented of a team. Now we're on the NFC side of things. We have, I guess we're going to be doing the Monday Night Football game first. The Eagles and the Buccaneers. One thing to note, let's start with the Eagles here. Another team that has just not ended the season well. And, similar to what the Chiefs and the Dolphins have been doing, but the Eagles have been more drastic. What did they end, like 1-5? Something crazy like that. And that's crazy, by the way. But we're going to have A.J. Brown out for this game, so that should be huge. We also have Jalen Hurts. I think he's questionable, but I do expect him to play that game. It's been a great season for the Eagles. It's been ups and downs, and we look at the Buccaneers side of things, it really hasn't been much different. 9-8 record, or actually no, were they 10-7 this season? No, they were 9-8. They had a 9-8 record and made the playoffs. Nothing short than crazy, especially in that NFC South where it really could have gone with the Buccaneers, with the Saints, and with the Falcons until the end of the season. So I don't know why the Lions are selected, but yeah, it's been crazy for both teams. Even with A.J. Brown being out and Jalen Hurts having injury, issues, I'm going to lean the Eagles here by a sliver, though. I'm going to say they end up winning this game 16-12. It's going to be a lot of running the ball for the Eagles, and for the Buccaneers, it's probably just going to be torture. It should not be a fun game to watch. Have Eagles winning it 16-12. Yeah, low scoring, boring game. Eagles take it, though. Next game we have, and by the way, I'm going to say that the Bills versus Steelers is going to be my game of the week, and my blowout of the week, and the Rams versus the Lions is going to be my game of the week. Starting with the Rams. The Rams have had a very trending season where they started off bad. People had them projected as a top 5 pick mostly for the NFL draft. And we've seen them just do so well against divisional opponents. They didn't get a win over the 49ers, but they were able to sweep the Seahawks and I guess they were able to get one win over the 49ers. What week was that? Was that just last week? It was just last week. Okay, so when none of the starters were playing. So excuse me. They were able to get one win over the 49ers, but it really wasn't that impressive because no starters. But they've trended a lot this season. It's going to be a very, very, very excited Sunday night game against the Lions. Stafford has looked really good. Kyren Williams, the second-year back out of Notre Dame, has looked amazing. We know Puka Nacua has been amazing this season. Cooper Kupp dealt with injuries, but we know overall he will bring that punch to an offense. Now, side of the Lions, going to the Lions side, it's been interesting this season. It started off really well. Then we had a little rough patch in the around the third quarter of the season. Then in the fourth quarter, they ended up playing pretty well. We had a loss. I think we can look at it. We had a loss to the Bears at one point in this season, week 14. Then we had a loss to the Cowboys in week 17. That game was definitely more, controversial. But yeah, if we look at it, it's really been, when we look at the third quarter of the season, barely beat the Chargers, barely beat the Bears. Then we lose to the Packers on Thanksgiving Day, barely beat the Saints, and then get destroyed by the Bears. That weeks 10 through 14, while they probably ended up, 3-2 through that stretch, it was a little rough. That being said, I'm going to have the Rams take this one. They've just been one of the best teams in the league over the last couple of weeks, and I think they're a team that could probably be a dark horse Super Bowl contender. Not even contender, but possibly even favorite. The Rams have been amazing this season. I think a Rams versus Ravens Super Bowl rematch, when we think about a couple weeks ago where that game went into overtime, that was very fun. So possibly seeing that game again would be amazing. But I'm going to have the Rams taking it barely. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Have the Rams winning 30-27. Matt Stafford and Jared Goff both had big games. I'm going to say Jared Goff has one interception near the end of the game that kind of end it for the Lions. It's going to be a tipped by the line. Just make that prediction. I have the Rams winning it, though. And last but not least, we have the Cowboys versus the Packers. Looking at the Packers side of things, youngest team in the league and made the playoffs. I think that's the first time it's happened since like 60 years, so that's very impressive. Jordan Love has improved a lot during the course of the season. So has their wide receivers. The wide receivers have looked great to end the season. When we're talking about mostly Jaden Reed, who's proven to be their wide receiver one. And for the Cowboys, it's just been, they've had some bumps in the road this season, but overall it's pretty been greatness this season. We have a win over the Commanders here in Week 18. Week 17, controversial, but ended up getting the win over the Lions. Week 16 kind of looks bad, losing to a team without Tyreek Hill. Week 15 looks bad, getting blown out by 21. But we see the weeks before that, they blew out the Eagles, then, had a high-scoring game against the Seahawks. But you really understand that Cowboys are a high-scoring team, and I don't think we're going to see much different here. I'm going to have the Cowboys win this game, but I'm going to tell you one thing right here. I think either the Steelers versus the Bills, the Rams versus the Lions, which is the one I predict, or the Packers versus the Cowboys, one of those games will end up being an upset. I have it big in the Rams, but don't be surprised if the Packers are able to do this. With that being said, it's going to sound like a little bit of a blowout, but I'm going to have the Steelers winning this one 34-17, but I can definitely see a world where the Packers are able to get it done. So yeah, thank you for watching that prediction video. For looking at our next week games, possibly, we're going to have the Chiefs and the Bills. I guess we can kind of call that a story rivalry at this point. We've seen Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes go head-for-head in multiple games. Browns versus Ravens should be very fun divisional battle. Same thing with Eagles and the Cowboys. And then we have another divisional battle. 3 divisional battle possibilities in next week's games. That should be entertaining. But yeah, thank you for watching these videos. Here are my end predictions. And yeah, haven't posted in a while. You will see a mock draft. I haven't posted in a while, but you will see a mock draft either tomorrow or the next day. But thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.